Hello, welcome to part 3 of sort of my grand review, pre-review, if that makes sense. I'm looking at all the cards before they're released and sort of giving my opinions on them. These are the cards that I'm going to be doing this week, so feel free to click on the one you're most interested in. You'll notice that there are 3 of them from last week. I just completely missed them all because I'm bad, so you can click on those as well. And hey, how do people do this? Like and subscribe the video if you're enjoying. I do a lot of Hearthstone right now. Just probably until about a month into grand release, I'll keep doing Hearthstone. But eventually I'll branch off into other games. But for now, it's Hearthstone all the way through. So yeah, check this stuff out. Click the link you wanna. Alright, we're gonna start off the review with Ancestral Knowledge. This card is interesting in that, firstly, on face value, it's pretty bad. It's 4 mana, draw 2 cards, which I think every other 3 mana, draw 2 card spell has been technically better. Thought Steal is debatably not better, but it is functionally 2 mana, draw 2 cards, right? And if that's what you're looking for, this is it. The thing is, Shaman's in desperate need of card draw. As I'm sure most of you know, wow, that's not as correct as I thought it was. As most of you probably know by this point, Shaman is sort of pushed into being an aggressive class just because they don't have good control mechanics like card draw. A lot of people talked about that with Block and Load, with Hunter, and now that Ancestral Knowledge coming out, I think the main consensus is it's a weird card because having an overload of 2 is pretty nasty. Anyone who's played Lightning Storm knows this. It's why turn 4 generally tends to be a dead turn for Shamans, while if you're trying to play some kind of control, you have to include Lightning Storm, right? And you have to include stuff like Azure Drake, Gnomish Inventors, because you don't have natural card draw. Well, here it is, natural card draw. Are you happy yet? Not really, because it's 4 mana and it's hard to really plan to use the 4 mana effectively. However, I will argue, at the very least, that it's a late game card. Just by the fact that it is 4 mana, and you generally don't draw cards before like turn 6 or 7, it's a late game card, and it'll help out Shaman a lot in that aspect. Next up, we're going to talk about Bolster. Give your taunt minions +2/+2. So they're definitely pushing this warrior taunt archetype. I like it because it's something different for warriors. Last expansion, they introduced Grim Patron, which was surprisingly powerful. I'm not sure how much Blizzard tested the taunt minions, especially, but again, taunt's a really interesting ability. It can be really powerful. Don't forget, by the way, that you can give taunt to other minions via Arch and Protector, in that 2 mana 2/3 that's played in Handlock at the very least. So this could be a powerful card. It's also the only 2 mana give your minion +2/+2, and it's kind of bad because generally I think we value +1/+1 at 1 mana. But it's interesting because it enables new archetypes, I guess, following off on Lock and Load and Ancestral, what's the card's name? Ancestral Knowledge. It allows Warrior to play, maybe not play in a new style because the taunts are generally very defensive, but play a new game. So it's cool. I like it. It's interesting. Druid of the, what the frick? Why is my thing so small? Druid of the Saber. Choose 1, charge, or stealth. It's a 2 mana 2/1 originally. And the stealth, you get +1/+1. So it can be either a 3/2 stealth, which is base value with Goblin, in comparison to the Giblin Stalker, or it can be a 2/1 charge, which is the basic Murloc. It's a strong Druid card. Gives them more early game options, but I don't expect it to be much use, because there was the mech thing, the mech 2 mana 2/2, which could be a 3/2 or a 2/3, and it had taunt, and that was like just honestly stronger than this card. This one has a bit more unique effects, charge and stealth. Generally, there aren't that many charge cards and there's not that many stealth cards. I can see you playing sort of a stealth game, but and try and like work in some Savage Roar combo-ness with that. But ultimately, I don't think it's that strong. I think it's clearly made to fit into a Savage Roar combo deck, which is what Druids use the, oh my god, what's it called? Shade of Naxxramas for most of the time, which is interesting. And then it has charge flexibility, so it's gonna be an active play, and it's 2 mana, so it's fine that it's only 2 damage for an active play, in my opinion. Just overall, it's a interesting card that does a lot of things, and I like that it gives you a lot of versatility. It's just I don't see where you would play it except for that one condition. And honestly, Ramp Druid has plenty of good cards. They don't need this one. Brave. Oh my god, I should have done this. Brave Hunter. 1 mana, 2/1. Inspire. If your hand is empty, deal 2 damage to your enemy hero. So immediately they're pushing the Inspire mechanic, and they're pushing the empty hand mechanic. And the empty hand mechanic is the more interesting one in my opinion. The Inspire basically doubles your hero power, which is like, oh god, it's scary. But like, it's 1 mana. Are you gonna start playing more 1 mana cards that are easy to remove? Like, if anything, this would be played in like a Face Hunter. But the thing about this card and a lot of the 1-drops they're introducing is that with the Inspire mechanic, you kind of feel like they're not necessarily 1-drops in the traditional sense. Like, I can't see this being played on turn 1 and then hero power on turn 2. No, that's silly. You get hero power on like turn 5. So like, if this is a top deck, I think what it's meant to be is it's meant to be a Hunter card where you can play it for 1 mana and just be a basic 2/1 like a shitty Leper Gnome, or on turn 6 when you're playing the top deck war, hey, this is actually somewhat still a threat and it's relevant, which makes this card really, really powerful. And it's mainly powerful because of this emptying the hand mechanic, which is something we saw a little bit before in Blackrock Mountain. I think it's an interesting mechanic at the very least, because it does throw you in the hands of RNG, right? It's like, oh god, I can draw Savannah Highmane, or I can draw the Core Hound, or I can draw Brave Hunter, or I can draw Unleash the Hounds, and my opponent has 2 giant creatures. Oh god, what do I do now? You know, it's like, putting yourself with an empty hand is just super scary, but Hunters do it really well because they have a lot of aggressive cards, and aggressive cards tend to cost low amounts of mana. Even the ones that are like high amounts of mana, like say Leroy Jenkins, aren't necessarily played because they are so high mana. And so I can see you running a Face Hunter deck with Core Hound, in fact, that just requires you to empty your hand. And I actually think it'd be really fun, because it would be just let the RNG take you over, you know? Kind of that full YOLO. And I enjoy that they're trying to push this. I like the mechanic. I like the card. It's interesting. It's powerful. And oh god, am I scared of Hunters now. You'd think I'd set this up beforehand. Gadgets and Jouster. Ooh, we have another Jouster. 1 mana, 1/2 is kind of meh. Reveals a minion in each deck. If yours costs more, gains +1/+1. Now we're talking, because it's basically a 1 mana 2/3. What's interesting about this is that A, it's complete RNG, but B, if you get the RNG, it's really, really strong, like Zombie Chow. The thing is, why would you ever run this over Zombie Chow? They're trying to push, this is part of like their attempt to push another new mechanic. Wow, we're getting a bunch of those, aren't we? You probably have to when you're introducing like 130 cards. So they're trying to push this reveal a minion in each deck mechanic. I might talk about it more with the other cards, but all you need to really know is that just run Zombie Chow, frankly. If you're running a super high-end deck, which is what this mechanic's meant to push, you might always win, but there's never the guarantee that your opponent doesn't have an Alex Rouser or something. I like the mechanic in theory. I'll say that much. Just this 1-drop is not very good. I'll talk about it more tomorrow when I'm going to be talking about other cards. Whoa, it's a spooky zombie. Injured Cavalier. Battle cry, deal 3 damage to this minion. I first saw this card and I was like, deal 3 damage. And I was like, oh god, OP, 1 mana. No, 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 no. It's basically a 1 mana 2/1 for Priest. And it doesn't even need the Priest, what? Where's my mouse? The Priest, background, because you know this is only ever going to be run in Priest. It's like can you imagine 1 mana, injured Cavalier Circle of Healing? It probably wouldn't feel good as the Priest, but it's important that they have this card. One, because of the Circle of Healing, but two, because Priests have a problem of board control. When they get board control, they win. If they don't get board control, they lose. Seems to be the pattern. Unless they put in Light Bomb, but Light Bomb's extremely risky because it's a situational board clear and not just a guaranteed Holy Nova style of board clear. So it's a weird card. I think it's really, really strong, and I'm definitely expecting it to see play. Priests are getting some really good cards in this expansion, huh? Yeah, that's all there is to say. We'll see about how well Priests are at the end of the metagame shakeup when this all kicks off, huh? Right, now we're moving on to the cards we missed. Hey, Savage Combatant! 4 mana 5/4 is bad on principle because of Piloted Shredder. Piloted Shredder, like I said yesterday, limits the design of every other 4-drop because it's like, hey, you don't match up to Piloted Shredder, right? However, I do think this card's really powerful because of its Inspire effect, and because it's in Druid specifically. Druids have this tendency to play things before you play them. I think I mentioned this yesterday with a different Druid card, but Druids usually will be a mana curve ahead of you, and that's kind of the strongest things Druids have, their ramp aspect. And so, say you play this on turn 2 via an Innervate, suddenly I think I would definitely prioritize hero powering over developing, say, a Shade of Naxxramas, because why is this being so weird? Because dealing 3 damage for 2 mana, that's base value, right? Kills Knife Juggler, it kills Raging Organ, and it kills some 3 mana taunts. Actually, as I think about it more and more, I'm kind of not liking it because I'm looking at what cards are really played. Harvest Golem, that's pretty sticky. I play Demolisher a lot, but I don't know if that counts. Really, basically, 2 mana deal 3 damage. The reason I really like this card is because the effect is powerful. 2 damage is a strong thing, and its baseline stats are good. They're acceptable, rather. But the effect is something that I would prioritize hero powering over playing a 2 mana minion, which is important because as we have more and more stacking hero power effects like Maiden of the Lake, Goldara Drake, other Inspire mechanics, you really want to not have the player feel bad when they're using their hero power. And this gives the hero power like a really powerful use. And I like it. I like that a lot. Hey, I did the thing again. I just did what? Okay, sure. I tried to fix it before, but whatever. Hey, Tournament Medic. I mentioned in my comment section on the previous video that I missed this card, but it's bad. And here's why it's bad. It's Inspires Restore 2 health. Like I said with Savage Combatant, you really want to put people in a situation where they're not unhappy with hero powering, and that's what the Inspire mechanic aims to do. It slows down the game. The problem is if you're in a situation where you would need a tournament medic, I don't know that you would be even willing to hero power for 2 health. Even if you're a freaking priest, like, would you hero power, or do you play a shadow boxer? Do you play a knife juggler? What do priests run? Like Shrinkmeister, Recombobulator, you know, why not? I'd recombobulate this tournament medic because 1/8 in stats just kills very, very specific minions. And against like 10 other decks, Grim Patron Warrior especially, oh my god, you play this card and it's like, why did you play this card? It's like this card's not doing anything. At least with the 1/7 4 mana taunt, that thing has taunt. It protects something. This the Inspire isn't very strong. Stats don't do anything. That's my take on it. And hey, that's all of the cards I wanted to review this time. There's not too many of them, but next time there's a lot of them, and I'm fully expecting more cards to be released as these videos come out. I don't know where the Tavern Brawl is going to fit in. Either this video is going to be on Thursday, or the Tavern Brawl is going to be on Thursday. I'm really not sure. But if this video is on Friday, then Saturday there might be another card review video explaining all of the cards that I've missed. By the way, this logo is Hearthstone. This is where I found all of the cards. And there's a bunch of cool other cards that I want to look at. So I'm 100% sure that there'll be more cards released before I put up the video on Saturday, and I apologize for that, but again, sites are weird about what they want to reveal. So I'm sticking with Hearthstone. Expect a video tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Expect a video Saturday where I finish up all of the cards that were released where I'm at right now on Thursday. And in the future, once maybe like 6 or 7 cards are released, I'll make another one, and so on and so forth until the expansion comes out, and then we can have some fun with these finally. Yeah, thanks for watching, like, subscribe, I'll see you guys in my next video, bye!